Welcome to Motivational Monday. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. Today, we're going to discuss how growth could be your biggest impediment. But first, make sure to smash the like button, share, and do subscribe, especially if you find value in this presentation, okay? So many a time when a new company is forming and it's a startup, they're starting out from their garage, they're starting up from a very small office, it's just the founders of the company and maybe a secretary, and then they start hiring people. Now, they have to start putting these people somewhere, right? And this is pre-corona days where you couldn't just, send somebody out and work from their living room, right? This is where you have to have a physical space, either a desk or a cubicle or whatever it is. And today, things have been a little bit easier for startups to actually get started. They could go to a WeWork kind of place. But when you need to scale up and you need everybody in that location, you need them 5 days a week, then it becomes a serious impediment, right? Because no longer are you sustaining that space for the business model that you're currently holding. And since the business is growing, you know now to double or maybe triple even the size of your physical location in order to fulfill the need of just the production. So it goes with any kind of scaling up, either production or services, that you need to end up scaling up with the physical locality of it, because it's just, you need more space. You have more salespeople, you have more finance people, you have more accounting people, you have more support people, whatever it is, you now need more space. And it's kind of like a scary point for a company because, I remember when we were just growing here at CMTrading, and at some point we needed to take a bigger space and a bigger space, and then we took 2 floors, and then we completely had to move to another location that was like 3 or 4 times the original location that we were at. And that really was in order to cultivate, a company that was growing so quickly. And I remember that point because it was a scary point in a certain way, right? Because you're investing in this massive amount of real estate. Now you have to sustain it. You have to make sure you're paying the bills for it, right? Because if your personnel is much more, you also have your expenses are much more. So this is the thing about growth, okay? When you're growing out of your shell, you need to grow out of your shell. You need to shed those shells, so to speak, in order that you now fulfill that space. But the most important thing you could grow out of is yourself, right? When you've now moved your boundaries of your capabilities, right, you have now moved yourself into a position where you need to shell your shell, so to speak, in order to sustain that new growth. And this could happen yearly, this could happen monthly, this could happen every 6 months. It depends on you. But the problem is that when you do that, you have to make sure to sustain it, right? You have to make sure to sustain that growth so that you can continue growing and moving forward, because ultimately, that's part of the process. Now, moving forward, that should be like something every so often that you shed those shell so that you can move into that bigger role. Now, it doesn't mean necessarily that you have more money in the bank. It just means that you've taken accountability. It means that you've added more value to yourself and that you're no longer what it is, right? When you go to the Army, it's very simple where you see somebody's rank, right? If they're a lieutenant, first lieutenant, sergeant, if they're a major, colonel, or even a general, right? Everything is just positioned in such a way where you see the subsequent advances throughout their army career. But in life, it's very hard to actually, put that tag on, because how do you put that tag on? Is it having 4 kids to 5 kids? Is it having more money in the bank? Is it having a house and a car? Is it having a boat, right? At one point you do that. But the point is that at any point that you're growing, right, at the end of the day, you're shedding some of that external shell in order that you could move on to the next thing that you want to grow in. Now, it could be anything. It could be your personal life, could be relationships, could be business, could be self-development, could be health. But whatever it is, you just have to remember to, shed that shell so that you could move into that new role. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great week.